What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a quick recap of the Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul boxing match. I have to say the results are not surprising at all. I knew Jake Paul was going to win, but there are some things I'm a little bit surprised about. Let's get into it. Alright, so Nate's issues in this boxing match. Jake Paul being younger, bigger, stronger, faster, sharper, being that all he does is train boxing now full time. I figured Nate's best chance to win would be to survive the onslaught early on, drag the fight into the later rounds, where he could have taken it over. But Jake did a good job of not allowing Nate Diaz to implement his game plan, his MO, which would be make the boxing match ugly, make it dirty, get up and close and tight, make Jake get reckless, and get clipped by something, because Nate Diaz throws a lot of combinations. I believe he does have deceptively sharp hands, and he throws things at weird angles. Very unconventional fight style and boxing style. Jake Paul had a great game plan, man. He remained composed pretty much throughout the whole boxing match. He kept stinging Nate with a jab, working his body, great body shots, landing power punches, things that were damaging. And every time Nate tried to close the distance, get Jake against the ropes, dirty boxer tried to catch him in an exchange with one of those sneaky looping punches or ones at odd angles. Jake was out of there. He didn't allow it. He created distance. He backed up. He circled. He kept digging to Nate's body, landing a jab. It was actually impressive, man. It was composed work by Jake Paul. Nate got picked apart, plain and simple. Not a shocker. He had a few moments in the fight. What really surprised me was Jake Paul's gas tank. I mean, it completely held up. In the earlier rounds when Jake looked like he was trying to get Nate out of there, I'm sitting there thinking like, dude, you are falling into Nate Diaz's spider web. This is what he does. He baits guys in. And you're going to blow your wad and he's going to take the fight over. And you know what? Jake never really slowed down. I mean, there were a few rounds where he kind of took a breather towards the end of the round after he did his damage and work. But I gotta say, he looked good, man. His cardio and conditioning looked top notch. He wasn't huffing and puffing. He didn't slow down too much. He was still able to land effective damaging shots and won via dominant decision. Like I said, not a surprise one bit. I'm just glad Nate didn't get knocked out. They now have this rematch on the table in mixed martial arts, which, hey, if Jake Paul really goes through with this, you got to give this kid even more respect. Because you know what? As little of a chance that Nate Diaz had of beating Jake Paul in boxing, hey, guess what? Jake Paul has like a fourth of that chance of beating Nate Diaz in mixed martial arts, or any fight with open rules for that matter, where you use all your skills. I will repeat this. Nate Diaz is going to murder Jake Paul. That fight will end when he wants it to. And I can tell you a million reasons why. Barring Nate doesn't age overnight and loses his durability and like Jake Paul lands some haymaker and completely flatlines him. I mean, stranger things have happened in the world, but like with 99.9999% certainty, Nate Diaz is going to play with Jake Paul. He would toy with him in a real fight. Like I said, it would end when he wants it to, and not necessarily so much from the striking. Anytime Nate initiates grappling, the fight's over. Simple as that. They're talking about $10 million. Hey, I hope Nate Diaz gets a huge payday for an easy fight. Runs it back with Jake Paul in mixed martial arts. Let's see it. But guys, let me know in the comment section what you thought about the boxing match. Did it play out as you thought? Were you surprised by the results? Would you like to see these guys rematch in mixed martial arts? And who do you have winning that fight? Thanks so much for watching this short recap video, guys. Appreciate it. If you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, take care.